Hello and welcome. Have you ever experienced this on your 268 Hino? This is something that you do not want. And you go underneath your vehicle and you notice that you have evidence of a radiator leak or it is leaking. I'm going to show you how you can repair that.
In this video segment, we're going to replace the radiator in a 2017 268 Hino. I'm going to walk you through it step by step and just show you what to look out for to make your repair and your radiator replacement go smooth and easy. If you're not a subscriber, just hit that button, become a subscriber right away. So let's begin.
We're going to start out with a clean drain pan, and that's if you're only concerned about saving your antifreeze. Next, you need some pliers. Want to go underneath and drain our radiator. I like to remove the radiator cap to have a better flow. We're going to turn it counterclockwise until it drains. I like to have my steering wheel turned all the way to the left. That will give me room on both sides on the left side to actually be able to work closer to the radiator, and on the right side too as well. At this time, I'm going to remove the cover on the passenger side of the vehicle. You will need a 13 millimeter or a 1/2 inch.
Before I get too far into this, I'm going to release the cables from the hood.
Make sure you find an object tall enough for the hood to rest on.
This gives us so much more room to work with. Now we are under the vehicle. As you can see, we need to remove 2 shroud bolts. One here, and we have one on the other side, right here. Again, we need a 12 millimeter. We have both shroud bolts removed. Now we need to remove the support bracket for the transmission line. Again, we need a 12 millimeter.
Next, you can use any type of wire cutter. We're going to cut loose the strap that holds this boot garment in place. After that, we just slide it back.
Make sure you have a drain pan underneath the transmission lines.
You will find a snap ring right here. We're going to use a small pair of pliers, get it started, and just pull it out. This is what keeps the line in place. Now all you have to do is just work the line on out, slide it back, and you'll lose some fluid in the drain pan. We're going to do the same on the other line. Don't worry too much about losing your lock ring. New rings will come with your new radiator. One thing you have to do when you get ready to reinstall, just slide your transmission line right in and it will snap right in place. Most likely you will lose a 1.5 quart of transmission fluid. Then we're going to loosen our bottom radiator hose clamp. I am using a 7 millimeter. Look like we have everything free and ready for removal.
I'm going to start on the driver's side. We're going to remove these bolts here. We need a 12 millimeter and a 13 millimeter.
And we also need to remove this bracket. Next, we're going to remove the bolts from the turbo intercooler. You may find it easier to remove some of the brackets. Then we're going to loosen the clamp and hose that goes to our intercooler. Next, we're going to remove the bracket that supports the antifreeze reservoir and the horns.
Again, we need a 13 millimeter. We just lay that over to the side.
We need a 13 millimeter to remove the nut that supports the radiator bracket. We need a 12 millimeter to remove the bolt that supports the AC condenser. One here on top, and we have one on the bottom.
Take your screwdriver and gently slide them apart. Do the same on the right side. We have a shroud bolt here to remove, and we have one here. Remove our other shroud bolt. Good time to remove our bypass hose. Rock it back and forth to break it loose. Should be able to pull it straight out.
Disconnect from our low level sensor. Then we're going to loosen and disconnect from our top radiator hose. We're going to use a 7mm, break the seal loose, just pull it back. We are on the left side disconnecting our intercooler from the radiator. Disconnect the radiator support bracket.
Just gonna leave it right there for the time being.
Remove the 2 remaining shroud bolts on the right side.
13mm.
Remove the lower intercooler bolt.
Double wrench.
We have it broken loose, and we can disconnect the hose. Most likely, you will need a small screwdriver to work it loose.
If anyone ever had or have an issue with their vehicle overheating, chances are it can be your radiator. It can be stopped up in between the radiator. You can have debris between the radiator and the turbo intercooler.
Remove the nut that holds down the radiator support bushing. I need to remove the lower AC condenser bolt.
We have this side free.
I believe we are ready to remove the radiator.
But before we do that, we're going to clear this shroud from the bottom section. Just clear it, because this is what's going to hinder you if you have any issues removing your radiator. So I'm just going to pull the shroud down a little bit. Now we're clear.
I would say it was time to change the radiator, especially when you compare it to the new radiator. This vehicle actually have over 350,000 miles. I think it held up pretty well. You want to make sure you compare your new radiator to your old radiator. Make sure you have no issues. I received this new radiator from my local Hino dealer. Here's the part number and the price. I would definitely advise to shop around. Look online. See if you can find this radiator at a less expensive price. It would definitely be worth doing so. I want to make you aware that the top fitting on your original radiator is going to be larger than the top fitting on the new radiator. So I just want you to be aware. You're going to have to go to your local hardware store, or if you have a hose around the shop, that will be a reduced size to actually go onto your new radiator. But your new radiator, the fitting is going to be smaller than your original radiator. If your bottom radiator hose has never been replaced, now is a great time to do it, since we have the radiator out of the vehicle. I would definitely recommend to replace your bottom radiator hose. I received this radiator hose from my local Hino dealer. Here's the part number and the price range. On the left side of your engine, behind your fuel filter bracket, you can release the clamp that holds the top section of your bottom radiator hose. Also, before we mount in our new radiator, it would be a good time to clean out the cores on the intercooler and the AC condenser. You can blow it out with air, or you can use water. I prefer to use a water hose, but right now I'm going to be using the air in this video. Now we can install our new radiator. Take your time placing your new radiator inside of your vehicle. Watch your fan shroud as you are lowering down your radiator. Just work and slide your radiator into your radiator mount.
I want to say, before you mount in your shroud bolts, make sure you mount your bottom radiator hose on first. If not, you're going to catch the devil trying to get this bottom radiator hose onto the radiator if you have the bolts already in the shroud. So make sure you do this first. Tighten down your bottom radiator hose, and then you can go to your shroud, install your shroud bolts. Now it's time to install the transmission line.
Only thing you have to do is just press in and the snap ring will do the rest. It will lock it in.
You push it in all the way. You could tell that you actually have it in far enough because your bracket will actually flush up against your radiator.
We're going to reuse our garment. Take a tie strap, tighten it down,
lock it in place. We'll do the same over here.
Again, your new radiator should come with new lock rings. Make sure your transmission line is pressed in all the way. Make sure this fitting here is tight. If it's not tight, it's possible that you may experience a leak.
Make sure it snaps. You want to hear that. Let's not forget to tighten down our bolts. Now we can bolt down the radiator. Tighten down the shroud bolts. Mount back on our side bracket. We're on the left side. Before I tighten down the brackets, I'm going to tighten down the radiator.
Tighten down the support bracket.
Mount back our AC condenser. We have one bolt in. Then we can mount back the intercooler.
Mount back the bracket that support the horn and the coolant reservoir. Tighten down all remaining bolts.
Tighten back our clamp. Anytime I install a new radiator, I believe in installing new hoses. Here's the part number and the price range for this hose.
Install your new upper radiator hose.
We are moving right along. Connect our harness back to our sensor.
Again, we're going to have to get a smaller hose to actually make it work for our new radiator. You may have to go to your local hardware store. Make sure you get a coolant hose to replace this hose. The hose is so tight now, you really don't even need a clamp on it. That should work.
Then we're ready to connect our hood cable. This Hino takes blue antifreeze. You cannot mix your antifreeze. If you are using red or green antifreeze, you cannot mix it with blue. You have to use one or the other. Do not add water, as you can see. Make sure you have plenty of antifreeze. And what I'm going to do is leave the cap off. I'm going to let the vehicle reach operating temperature. If there's any air inside of the system, hopefully it'll just come out of here.
Make sure your reservoir here is topped off to the proper level. If not, you will have a buzzer to come on your dash telling you low coolant level. Make sure you check your transmission fluid before and after you start your engine. Keep in mind, we did lose transmission fluid when we replaced the radiator. The proper way to check your transmission fluid is while the engine is running. Most likely, you may need to at least add a quart of transmission fluid. Make sure you check for leaks underneath your radiator. The transmission lines look great. No leak. Again, if you experience any type of leak, make sure your fittings are tight on your radiator. The bottom radiator hose look good. No leak. That's what you want. Again, make sure your transmission fluid is topped off to the proper level. Check your radiator coolant level and your reservoir level once your vehicle has reached operating temperature.
Well, that's all you have to do to replace your radiator in your 2017 268 Hino. I hope this video is helpful. Now that is the Darrell Auto Restoration Repair version on how to replace the radiator in a Hino. I hope this video is helpful. Do not forget to subscribe. Take care as always. God bless.